Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another session. How are you guys doing? Today's Wednesday. Time flies. In 2 days' time, we'll be in 2 days' time we will be another weekend. Oh. Alright, let's jump on to the king of all, the dollar. How are you guys, the YouTube friends? I hope you're doing well. I was having some technical difficulties logging on. That's why I've not been on time. I was trying to get the YouTube started, but it was not giving me for some reason. Okay, so that's why I had to kind of go through this way. So I hope you're doing well, and I'm sorry for the delay. And without much, let's start. So yesterday we were looking at the dollar, and I expected price to move away from this level here, and if we broke down, then I think dollar will be going down. But we've had some elephant in the room move away from here, and based on the 4-hour, I'm pretty much convinced that they're trying to turn around, okay, to continue the daily movement to the upside. Okay, that's what I think is happening. The only concern I have right now is this cluster of trading in here. Okay, it's just too many candles in there, right? However, I'm looking at the last swing low right here, right down here, there. Okay, we've closed above it. So because of that, I'm going to go with dollar turning around because of the closure above this last up candle here. Granted, the main high is all the way up here, but if you look closely, the swing high that led price down here is actually this one. It's included in this whole mess in there when they were going back and forth. So I'm going to elect that they want to turn around and go higher. So if that's the case, then I should be looking for sells on the foreign currencies. Okay, if that's the case, sort of, yes. To answer your question, yes. So I'm expecting a turnaround for dollar to continue going higher. If we take out this low, then I think that's it. You're gonna come down here and sweep these lows. Okay, right, so if they do come below this low, I am bearish on the dollar. Okay, if they come down below here, I am bearish on the normal. Initially it was here. Okay, yesterday as price was trading, it was here. That if they did close below there, then I am bearish dollar. But and then they moved away from there, and today we've had a retracement. So if we do come below this low, I am bearish dollar. They're gonna come down here and then probably go down further, but I'm not looking at that yet. Until that happens, then I'll go that way. But for now, I'm expecting higher prices, so I'm expecting them to come above all these levels that I've got on the upside. So I've got 1, 2, 3. I'm expecting price to run higher and take them out. All right, so going on to euro, I'm looking at euro. In the morning we're looking at so the morning session we had a session. Well, I had a session with my VIP members, and we were looking at the 5 minutes time frame for some trades, and we were looking for price to come here and actually give us some break, and for us to take a breakout trade, and we didn't get that, but we did get a beautiful one on the GBP, which led to this one. So we got a beautiful short, and the Aussie. We got Aussie as well in the morning, and then price has now returned back up again. So this was a short term or like a mini scalping during the morning. So we are expecting a continuation to the downside. So for high time frame trades, we are looking for a continuation to the downside, right? But lower time frame, we've already done our trade in the morning. So on euro, I don't want this high to give up. Okay, so right now my eye is on this last up candle here, and I don't want that to give up. So even though we've not broken this down candle here, okay, we need to break that. Even though we have this, I don't trust this one as a breaker. I don't trust it. It's just not too strong in terms of them manipulating price with the buy. This is okay because they bought price up. So once we break it, then I will go with this one as the breaker. But for now, this up candle, because of the breakdown, I don't want this to give up. Okay, so I want price to stay below here and then give us a leg down. All right, so if we break above this high, like I said, I am bearish on the dollar, and I'll be bullish on euro, and probably euro is gonna come and take out these highs. I don't see that yet until you give me that. So for now, I'm looking for a move back down. On pound, like I said, we did catch a beautiful short in here in the morning for about 43 pips. Yeah, 49, almost 50 pips for this equal low here. So back to the high time frame. On the daily, I expected them to kind of run this high before the rejection to go lower, but that didn't happen. We have this engulf last up candle, so I think we might see a push back down. They might come back down and take out this low into this low gap in here. Okay, my only concern is the equal highs that they've left up here. That's my only concern, and we have the breaker up there that price has still yet to go for. So on pound, I'm bearish, but with a caution. Yeah, I'm bearish with the caution of this equal high here. Okay, they could leave it and come all the way down and come and sweep this, and that will be fine with me. Okay, and then they come back later for this equal high. All right, and that's what I'll go for now. Looking at price action, that's what I'll go for now. If it does change, obviously, then I'll change. I don't have any level to consider for a sell on the high time frame. On the 1 hour, we did break down here, and then we came back for those of you that are familiar with the concept, retracement to the 618 level, and then we shot back down. Okay, so that is the only thing that is going right now for a continuation to the downside. We do have that low, that low, that low, all laid out there for possible run. So I'm going to draw a line right here, and it does line up with the obviously target on the fib. Okay, it does line up with the fib target, so look for a continuation down on this one. On New Zealand, this on the sideline, we didn't get a proper pullback, which is what I'm expecting. Maybe a pullback to this last up candle, and then a rejection to continue going lower. This candle, this last down candle here, has engulfed 1, 2, 3 candles. So that's a lot of bearishness. To me, that's a lot of bearishness. So we might get a continuation to the downside. But for trade entry wise, it's a bit weird. We haven't got any meaningful pullback to any level. So if you do pull back into this low, then I'll consider a trade idea. But on the 1 hour, there's nothing, and on the 4 hour, there's nothing. The only thing I have for a trade is a bit advanced, okay, would be this gap here. That gap there, it's a bit advanced entry technique, and I think I myself, I don't use it. Okay, I've made it known to my group that I myself, I don't use it, but it's a entry technique that is used when price is dropping, or in this case price is dropping. So you can sell short here, stop above there, and look for a continuation to the downside. But that's a big one. Yeah, right here, stop above there. That's 53 pips. That's a lot. That's too big. Okay, on this particular pair, on New Zealand dollar, on a pound Aussie, that might be all right. Yeah, on a pound Aussie or euro pound, I'm sorry, on euro Aussie, that might be okay, but on this pair it's not. Okay, so I'm not too terribly excited. If we do pull back inside this low, then 30 pips is not bad as a entry, and retracements wise, we will be at the 618, so that will also be a good place to go short. All right, so I'm gonna leave this one because I don't like this, and the entry is far away. If it does give me a drop and then a retracement, then I can use this high and wherever the low form, then I can use that to frame a trade idea. But until then, I don't want to chase and then price will snap at me. Okay, neither should you do that. Okay, so on Aussie dollar, like I said, we did catch a short in the morning on the lower time frame, but on the high time frame, I was looking at this area here between that high and that low as a possible retracement and a continuation to the downside. Looking on the daily as well, we have engulfed 1, 2, candles, including slightly this one here. Okay, and then even that one. That's a lot of bearishness. So let's see if price will hit this and then give us a rejection to go lower. Okay, so that level there, based on the daily, this one. So if you drop on the 4-hour, that level there. So I want to see price hit that and then break down and start going lower. Dollar CAD. It's a bit another tricky one. So we had this level in that gap, and first of all, we are bullish on the daily. We are not bearish yet because we pushed away, and this is a retracement. So I'm expecting a rejection to continue going higher. We did engulf this, okay, from that daily level there, or 4-hour level. Okay, you can say it's coming off from this down candle, and that's fine. Between this, yeah, between this and that, and that's fine. Or you can say it's coming from this one, it's also fine. They're all the same area anyway. Okay, I'm looking at the lower time frame, and I'm looking at this particular gap. That's where I'm framing the trade idea from. So once we hit that, and right now we've engulfed this candle, so I'm looking for rejection to continue going higher. Now if they break that, if they break this whole move yesterday and then come down here, that will be a sign of bearishness to me, because first of all, we rejected this sell right here, and then we went up, and then for them to reject this buy and then come back down, I'll view this as manipulation, to draw buyers in the market and then go against them. Okay, so as prices drop in, people naturally will want to buy, right? And then they give them that only to suck them into go down. So if we break this low, then I think chances are they might be coming down further, and that will also bring the dollar. I think the dollar will also do the same thing, similar. As long as this low is still intact, I think price will reject and go higher, and I'm gonna go with that until it gives me what I'm saying. Okay, if it doesn't trade here, then I'm going with the bullishness. So if you drop back down to the 4-hour, there was no level. On the hourly, however, there was this down candle that I was watching this morning. Yeah, so I was watching this morning for a possible retracement and then a continuation to the upside. So it's similar to the other pairs, looking at the range high to the low, and price trading at the 70.5 level, and I'm looking for a rejection to continue going higher. Okay, if you're scared to take a trade where it is now, then wait for price to take out this high. Okay, wait for price to take out that high. That will break the structure again. Okay, low, high, low, high, high, and then you can buy for continuation to the upside. If you don't want to buy down here, just wait for price to break above this high, and then probably a retracement and then a continuation to the upside. Okay, this one, dollar Swiss. Yeah, dollar Swiss is similar to dollar CAD. Okay, on dollar Swiss, I was expecting again bullishness at this level. I used a bit of retail thinking in here, support and resistance. So there were a lot of give and take at these levels. Okay, so I used that idea of support and resistance, and then I found that we shouldn't break this low, and this area here we shouldn't break it, and at the same time we had a low gap. Yeah, so my mind was looking at this gap with a bit of retail thinking in there. Okay, that one, and price should reject and go high, and then we did get that retracement to another gap in here this morning. We didn't actually trade this one because I didn't see it. We saw it too late, so we didn't trade this one. And I was looking at this, but I was waiting for price to break above this before I consider this down candle, and price failed to break above it. So right now I'm still watching it. Okay, I'm still watching it. I want to see a break above this high, and I'll be terribly that's the right word. I'll be very bullish on this if we break above this high. Okay, that will just give me confidence to start looking for buys, to look for targets. All right, so if you want to be a buyer, wait for price to close. It needs to close, yeah, above this high. Then any retracement, I think, will cause price to continue going higher. Okay, and then obviously if we come back down and take out this low, then I'm bearish for price to come down here. I don't see that yet, so we go with this. All right, euro pound. So I had these two alerts here. That's when I'll be interested in this pair. As long as it's trading inside this range, I am not interested in it. The reason why I'm not interested in it is because based on the 4-hour, we need to close above here for me to be bullish. Because on the weekly I'm bullish, but on the 4-hour it's not yet. So for me to be interested in this pair, we need to close above this high, and once we do that, then I'll be interested in this pair. Okay, so that's why I've got this alert there, and then this level here is the weekly down candle open. So I want to see how price will react once we get down there. Okay, I want to see how price will react when we get down there. So those are the two levels I'm interested in for now. The rest I'm not bothered. Can do whatever he wants in here. Okay, Aussie New Zealand. So we had this level, looking for a continuation to the downside, and we came up in the morning. We were looking for a breaking structure here, for us to look for a sell, and it didn't give us. So I still just didn't do nothing on this. Even though we had the level there, it's just still not giving me an entry that I like. So price is now breaking it. Looking at how price has structured itself on this, I think there will be a likelihood of a continuation to the upside. Wow. But if you look on the daily, this is a failure swing. Okay, so what a failure swing is, so we are going down and then we come up. It failed to break high, so we are still bearish. So with this retracement, I'm looking for price to break this, right, and continue going lower. But if it doesn't do that, that's a failure swing, and then price will break. So that will be a breaking structure, and then we start looking for these highs to be taken. Okay, so that's what is outlining here. So because price failed, okay, to come back down and break this low, once we take out this high, I think we are bullish, and then we can start buying these down candles, right? So if we take out this high like that, we will be considering this as a potential buy to continue going up. So that's why I've got these lines up here, because that will be our upside objective. Okay, so let's get rid of this. So this failing is not a problem, it's just understanding what is going on. Once you do understand, then you just switch. Okay, so they failed. Okay, you can see this, we engulfed it to the downside and they failed to hold it, and then price has come all the way up here. So it's looking like it wants to come for this equal high, and then that will mean we're looking for high prices. Okay, if it does come above this equal high, if it does come above that and then reject again, then I think price is gonna stay sideways. Okay, I don't want it to go up there and then reject. I want it to go up there and then keep going higher. Okay, then we can look for buys on the lower time frame. Let's get rid of this one for now. So based on the higher time frame, we could start looking for buys. Okay, and then you can see based on the market strategy that I gave. Okay, this is a market structure shift or break, because they took out this low and then came all the way up and taking that one. So that would be a change in direction on the 4-hour. So this equal high is definitely going to be tagged, and then if we stay above, retracement will cause price to go higher. Okay, on the 1-hour, let's see if there's any interesting levels. At the moment, the level that I will be interested would be here, but they've already touched it. So the next one would be somewhere here, but then I'll have to wait and see how price will trade up in here. Okay, I don't want it to reject and then come back down and then I'll be buying here. That's not what I want to do. Okay, they might fake this high and then reject and come all the way down. Remember, today is Wednesday, we still got some time for the rest of the week, so they could do that, and I don't want to be caught on the wrong side. All right, so wait for price to properly close above this high. That will officially make this 4-hour time frame bullish. Then we can start looking for retracement to continue going higher. Euro New Zealand, so I did outline something in the morning here. I wanted to see this candle engulf that one, and then we can look for a buy, but we didn't get that. So then I said that I want to see this candle continue going up and close up in here somewhere, and then open another one, and then that one to also close bullish. Then that would make this one a very good candle to buy at. None of that did materialize, so this buy is not a good buy at the moment. Okay, it's not a good buy. Okay, so my members, if you're here, they didn't give us what we are looking for. Okay, so you stay on the sideline. However, this one, I'm still interested in this down candle here, because the 4-hour is bullish. So if you do get down here, that will be a good area to consider for a buy. So another trade idea that I had was, if we close above these candles, then that would be a reaccumulation candles to continue going higher, and that also didn't give us. So retracement to this is a good idea for a buy. Okay, and if you do get that, let's take out this one. If you do get that, your first target is up here. Pound Aussie, I am not doing anything on this pair, as I outlined in the morning. It just doesn't make sense to me right now what it's doing. Based on the daily, we are sideways. On the 4-hour, I have no idea what it wants to do. Alright, so I'm not touching it, and its brother, same thing. I don't know what it wants to do in here, so I'm not touching it. Yesterday, it gave me a bit of hope of, let's take this one off. Okay, with this run on these stops, and then that sharp move to the downside. So if you look on the lower time frame, we had a run on stops and a sharp move to the downside. So I was considering, based on the 4-hour, that down candle there, this down candle here, I was considering that as a sell, okay, to continue going lower, and price is still stuck here. Okay, so right now it's just not my cup of tea for a trade, so I'm just gonna leave that one alone. Okay, let's go on to pound yen, dollar yen. We've got to the up candle that was mentioned. For the YouTube members, you were not here, but we had a buy, or we were looking for a buy down here to continue to go up there, but price didn't give us an entry, and it just ran all the way up. The 4-hour is bullish, so now any retracement I'm looking at this down candle here. I'm looking at that. If we do get a pullback to that with the bullishness in dollar, I'll be excited to be a buyer on this pair to take out that high and those equal high. Okay, so if we do get a pullback, that level there, I'll be interested in a buy for a continuation to the upside. This one, not here, that one there. Okay, euro yen, we had a beautiful buy in here. That's the daily down candle. We're still looking for continuation to the upside. I went into details in the morning. I don't want to go into details here, but all you have to know is we are looking for upside objectives to right there. Okay, so that's our trade idea on this pair. You're looking for a continuation to the upside. On the lower time frame, we have broken above this high again. Yeah, we've broken above it. Even though the 4-hour didn't, the 1-hour has. I would have loved the 4-hour to do the same thing, but it's no problem. We can trade the 1-hour. So if you look all the way down, retracement to 618 and 70 can send price high again, to continue to our level. So if this does give us a pullback, if it does pull back here, okay, that's I like the 70.5. I don't like the 618. I like the 70.5. It's in between these two, so I don't catch it early and I don't catch it late. I like in the middle, and I'll look for a buy to continue going higher. Okay, sorry, I just had a email address of concern. Okay, so on CAD 2 we had a beautiful buy from this down candle, and we're looking for a continuation to the upside. Some of our traders missed this one, so we've had another area identified in here. In case price does retrace, then we'll be looking for that as a potential buy to continue going higher. So for the members that missed the initial buy, which was this level, we can look for a potential buy, but we want price to close above this first before we be able to buy. If it doesn't close above it, I will not be really interested for price, or I will not be interested for a buy there. Aussie yen, Okay, so I had a story on this one. All the yen pairs are going up, but these ones, they were going down yesterday. Yeah, they gave this engulfed candle, which is, to me, not sometimes, I see that as a sign of bearishness. Okay, when I see this, I see that as a sign of bearishness. However, it could be a sign of bullishness, because the whole move to the downside could be a buy. Okay, it could be a buy to send price higher. So I'm not selling it. I have those levels there to see if I can catch a lower time frame trade. Okay, so I outlined something like this. If we do get to those levels and we have these kind of breaking structures at that level, so breaking structure, I sell short and I look for a small trade. That's what I've got those levels there for. Okay, so if you do get like price to reject here, break this low, then I'll be interested for a 5 minutes trade, sell short and look for about 40 pips and I'll be done. So that's why I've got those levels there for. I'm not looking to sell it, I'm just watching it to see what price will do. Ideally, because I'm bearish on the yen, so I'm expecting the yen to be weak, so this might continue going higher. So if we break above this down candle, then that will be very good, because then I'll be looking for higher objectives. But if we don't and we start seeing rejection, I'm not gonna ignore that and say, okay, I'm not gonna sell it. I will sell it. Okay, so if I see rejection at any of these levels in the lower time frame, I am going to look for some sells. All right, but if I don't, then obviously I'll just leave it, because it's no point me trying to sell something that is not willing to sell. Okay, so like I repeat again, these levels are there for me to watch for lower time frame trades. So 5 minutes, I look for 5 minutes breakers and then I'll sell them. If not, then I'm not interested, because this is a sign of bearishness to me. At the same time, I am bearish on Aussie yen, so they could just keep going up and down and I'll not be interested. So the same story goes for New Zealand yen. So I have these levels there and I'm looking on the 5 minutes for breakers. So if I don't get a breaker, I might have missed one in the morning in here for a small trade, and that's it. Okay, looking for down candle, break, retest, and then look for that, and then I'll be done. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for on them. So the levels that I have there are only for, I would say, short term or scalping purposes. If we break above this high, then we'll be looking for this equal high to be run. So if you close above this high, I'll be targeting this equal high. If not, and then I see some 5 minutes or 15 minutes breakers at these levels, I am all over it. Okay, pound yen, I am not touching it. Price didn't get to the level I was looking for. I have the level down here. That's where I'm interested in a buy. It's a 1 hour level here that did some run on stops, and they left a low gap with a very decent move away. So that's why I'm only interested in taking the trade. I'm not interested in anything else. Okay, looking on the daily, that's what we have. A bit of a sideways to upside. Again, if we close above this high, that is also a sign of bullishness, and then I'll be looking for price to come here. Okay, as we close above this, I'll be bullish and looking for price to come here. I will not ignore this. I'll not ignore that. That will be a target. I'll not expect that to stop price and go down. I'll just use that as a target and then expecting price to push through it. Okay, Eurocard. So Eurocard, I was grading my trades this morning. So some trades I give them a 5, a 4 and a 10. So CAD yen trade was a 10, Euro CAD trade was a 10, and this one was a 5. Why 5? Because of all this mess in here. I don't like the price action surrounding it. It did manage to close above this high, short-term high, and the only thing I like about it is the move away from that level. Okay, apart from that, I don't like anything else. That's why it's a 5, and I cannot ignore it because it could hold price and then send it higher, and that's why I cannot ignore it. So it's a 5. It's not the best trade out there. Will I want to take it? I'll take it with a really small risk. So if my normal risk is 1%, I'll probably take this with a 0.2. Okay, that's how. So if my risk is 1%, I'll take this with a 0.2. Okay, so that's how I rate this trade. New Zealand CAD. So we did identify this. I talked a little bit about gaps in the morning, that if they don't support price, if they don't support price like this and then they break through it, then it becomes, I always change them. If they don't hold, okay, I'll use that word, because support and resistance, I always mix them. I'm not sure which one is which. Maybe someone will tell me. So let me get this right now so that I don't get confused going forward. So if you know, I know you know, all of you, most of you know. It's going up. Is this resistance or support? That's a quick question. As price is going up here, is that resistance or support? Resistance. Okay, cool. I was waiting for an answer. So that's resistance, and then price is coming back down here. That's support. Okay, I've got it. Now I'm not gonna get confused. I learn once and then I internalize it. So that is resistance. Right, got it. So if this is going up, this is supposed to provide resistance. It's supposed to stop price from going up. If we break above it, then when it retraces, so if we break above it, retraces, that will act as support and then continue going up. So the same idea we used in the morning in here, that we had a gap in here and then it failed to provide support. It did provide support yesterday, and I took a long in here. Okay, but ultimately price broke it. So once price broke it, that should act as resistance, and in the morning the traders did catch a short in there to continue going lower. So you're looking for price to take out this low and then come down for this equal low. So that's our target down there. So that should send price lower now. So we're looking for a move. First target is below this low, and then move down here. And then Aussie CAD, with this I was looking for, let's go to a 4 hour. I was looking for a run above this high into that before going down. It didn't give me, and then price just rejected. So again, I rated this trade and I gave it a 5. I don't like where this up candle is situated, but I'm looking for a continuation to the downside to come here. And why am I looking for that? Because the daily is bearish. Okay, we had this high, sorry, this low, taking out this high, and then we broke down. It came up, it found support at the gap. Support, yes, it did find support at the gap. No, resistance. Ugh. There we go. It did find resistance at the gap there. Several attempts to go higher, it didn't, and then it collapsed. So I'm looking for a continuation to the downside to take out this low and into here. Okay, we also looked at the weekly, and then we saw that it did hit the weekly last up candle there. So we're looking for a continuation to the downside. So if you go back to the 1 hour time frame, I was rating this trade as a 5 because I don't like how prices behave or how price has traded in here. That's why I rated it as a 5. So the trade idea was to sell here and then look for a continuation to the downside. All right, between these two, which one do I like? Between the New Zealand card and the Aussie card, I like this one because of the gap on the daily. It's stronger. The gap is stronger to send price lower than this one. Okay, there's nothing in here. There's nothing in here to frame the trade apart from this wick here. There's nothing in there on the higher time frame to frame the trade around. Okay, so that's why I like the New Zealand card. Bitcoin, I'm looking for continuation to the downside. So I'm looking for something to form between these two price points. Okay, I'm looking for a breaker on the lower time frame, either here or there, wherever it gives me. Why am I looking for that? Because I think this candle has been engulfed. Yeah, and I look at that as a sign of bearishness, even though we are in a internal not mention words. Okay, we are in between this high and that low. Okay, and price retraced, so naturally I'll be looking for price to take out this low, and it didn't, and we're stuck in that range. And then I reduced it to this current trading range, so between that and this one. So price trading range, we retraced to the last up candle, so naturally I'll be looking for a run down here. So both this one and that one is looking for price to go lower. Okay, if we close above this high, then I think we might be looking for a trade back to this last up candle, but that is far away. So for now, what we have in price, I'm looking for rejection to take out this low and that low. Okay, but for target wise, I had it here. So if you do get a breaker trade idea, maybe one in the forming, high, low, higher, high, we break down, then I'll look for a sell, okay, to continue going lower. All right, so that's what I've got these levels there for. So I'm expecting them to provide me some sort of a trade idea. On gold, this morning I did share this trade idea. We're selling this breaker on the 4 hour, and we're looking for a continuation to the downside. All right, so gold, I'm looking for a continuation to the downside to take out this as first target and second target there. All right, so that's gold. Maybe I went too quick, so I'm gonna stay on this one a little bit. The reason why is this down candle was meant to provide support to send price higher, and it failed. So I was looking at that as potential breaker. We had highs taking out, price breakdown here, so this down candle should act as resistance and then send price lower. So that's what I'm looking at that level for. Okay, so I'm looking for a continuation to the downside. And then finally oil. We had a bit of a learning in the morning on this one. Okay, looking at what price has done. I think we were trading up in here during our session, and we identified that price should come down here, and once we get there it should find support and then go higher. If not, then it's going to come back down and take out these lows. Okay, and let's put the fib there and then show why. Okay, so if price fails to find support here, which is this low, if it fails to find support, then this is what's going to happen. Okay, so this rally, this is more advanced learning in the concept that I trade. It's advanced. This is a typical textbook trade that I have noticed. Okay, ultimately it's gonna come back down and take out this low. That's what it is. So the idea is, I think my mentor has shared this in public, so I can talk about it. Okay, so what I'm expecting is all these levels to provide support to send price down. Okay, and ultimately taking out this low. But what I've realized with me going or studying this into my details, this is typical. Okay, this run on stop is typical, and then there's a huge down candles that comes down and then take out these lows. So I'm not surprised what it's doing. It's a typical price delivery. Okay, so price is gonna come back down here. On the higher time frame, that's that 15 minutes time frame. On the higher time frame, we did take out this high, so that's where the whole trade idea is coming from. The fact that they run this high and rejected, and looking at how price did go up to run that high. Okay, with this consolidation going up to run that high, that's what gives me the idea to understand that price is going to do this whole thing. So looking at price formation here, there, and then rejecting at that high, it gives me the understanding that price is going to come back and run this low. Alright, so we're going to expect this low to be run, and then if we do actually stay below, which is this 4-hour down candle here, if we actually stay below, then I think we will be coming back down. Yeah, we have a gap in here, we have a gap in there, and if you look on the 1 hour, we have similar what you see on the 15 minutes that I've outlined in there. So on the 15 minutes, what you see that I've outlined in there is similar to what you see on the 1 hour. So we have the consolidation, and then these areas of buying is the same thing as the 15 minutes time frame. You have the consolidation and then the areas of buying, and then we see price reject. Okay, so if we do end up closing below this low, I think ultimately I'll be looking for price to come here, and then depending how price will trade, if I measure the high to the low, okay, at that 70.5 level, if we don't reject and then we break and close below it, then that will give same sort of price action in here. It's gonna bounce, go up, sorry, not there, here. It's gonna bounce, go up, and then ultimately come back down and take the low out. So if you do manage to come down here, you're gonna see a bounce to take out a high, a short-term high, or something like this. Yeah, we call it the OTE, and then you come back down and take out that low. Okay, so watch oil and see if we're gonna close here. If we close, then I think we'll be coming down here. All right, so that will end my pair observations. If you do have any pair you want me to look at, please shout it out and then I'll look at it for you. If not, then my job is done. Is there any pair recommendation anyone wants to look at? At the same time, let me check these ones. Euro Aussie. Let's go into Euro Aussie. Yeah, Euro Aussie is still valid. I like that level. Ratings between 1 to 10. That's a 7-8. That's a 7-8. Okay, because of the 4R, we did run some stops in here, and price rejected. Okay, and we've not had any retracement yet. Oh, euro dollar. Yeah, euro dollar, like I said, I'm not looking for price to break above this high, so I'm expecting this to provide a rejection to continue going lower. My only problem is that we didn't break this low. Okay, so there's no 4R level for me to kind of lean on. Okay, this down candle, it's a breaker and it's not at the same time. Yeah, it's a breaker and it's not at the same time, because the way I see breakers is like this. So we have this level, okay, and then price will form a short-term low, hits this level, and then reject and break this. Okay, so the breaker will look at something like this, and then I'll sell short, or with a pullback I'll sell the last up candle. Okay, I don't have that in here. This down candle is attached to this last up candle here, so that's what I'm saying. It's a breaker, at the same time it's not, because if you look closely, that down candle, we had price taking out these stops. Yeah, that up candle, same time taking out that stops. Okay, the stops above the down candle itself, and then we broke down. So I cannot frame this as a breaker, and because I cannot frame that, I can only use this last up candle. All right, so that's why I'm saying I don't want to see price break above this, because if we do, then obviously we'll be bullish, but I don't see that. So this should provide resistance and send price lower. Yeah, so this should provide resistance and send price lower. Once we break back this, once we do this, then I have something to play with, because I have my type 2 market structure break, which is this one here. Dude, can you stop? Okay, instead of breaking the high, my bad. Okay, instead of breaking this high, because you have a short-term low here, we failed to break it. Instead of breaking this high to continue going higher, we break this low back. Okay, so that's my type 2 market structure break. So if I do get that one, then I have something to play with. I have this range to play with. Okay, then I can use this as a mitigation, which I don't like, but that's what it's giving me, so I have to play with that. And then the last up candle here as a potential last up candle for a move down. So if we break down, then I have this one and that one to play with for retracement and a continuation to the downside. Any other pair? S&P 500. Let's have a look at S&P 500. S&P. 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 Give me a second. Let me look at S&P first. Okay. What is S&P doing? What did we talk about on this one the other day? Oh, target there. That was the first target after closing. That was the first target after closing above this candle. Yeah, so after closing above here, I think that was Monday. So Monday, once price closed here, that high was our first target for price to reach for. And there, wow, look at that. That's crazy. We've had a huge sell-off. Let's go back to the daily. I think they're all waiting for something. With that break about below this as engulfed, and because this was sharp move, price is trying to rebalance. So if you drop down to the hourly, here, probable price hitting that and then looking for another rejection. If you close above, then let's go back to the daily, and then we look for another targets to the upside. So if we close above this, then we'll be looking for potential. Yeah, that, and then that, which almost the last up candle. So I'll leave it here. That's if you close above that. Okay, that's your upside objectives. If we don't and we start seeing rejection, then you look at this equal low. Okay, for now, look at this equal low. If we break above that, then you look at those upside objectives. Okay, so look for these equal lows, and if we break above this high, then you look at those upside objectives. Okay, so don't go for longs because you're too late. Look for sells to come back down here, but if we break above that, then you look for longs to go to the upside. Sorry, I was not looking at those. My bad. Yeah, I'll look for a sell to come back down. That's what I'll look for. That's a breakout there as well. So I'll look for a sell to come back down to attack this equal low, and then if that breaks and stops me out, obviously, then I'll be buying. I'll wait for retracement and then I'll buy. Euro, can you show how you would put the fib on this euro? On euro, which way? Is it based on this 4-hour swing or the one that I'm highlighting? I'm projecting. If it's the one that I'm projecting, then wherever the low form, let's say low form here. Let's get rid of some of these stuff. Okay, if it's the projected low here, which would be, how do I project that? It's just simple. It's in this one and that one there. That's how I project the low. So let's say this one. Okay. So then I'll look for this. And I'll be interested in selling. That looks so perfect. I'm a genius. I'll be looking for a sell in here to continue going lower. Okay, but if you're talking about what we have now, then it's between this high and that low. And where we are trading now is where I'll be looking for a sell to continue going down to take out this low. Here we have that low sitting there. So that's how I'll use it. Any other question? Any other pair? Obviously, I have my Swiss pairs in here for those Swiss pair traders. I'm looking for a continuation to the upside on Swiss yen. Aussie Swiss, I'm not doing anything on this one. New Zealand Swiss, I'm looking for a move back down here. This one, I'm looking for a move to the downside. Based on the daily. Okay, ignore the way I thought about this. The way I talked about this is to just ignore that this is a daily time frame and look at this as any other time frame, like a 4-hour or 1 hour. Okay, we have a breaker in here, price return to the breaker, therefore I'm looking for a continuation to the downside. Cat Swiss, yeah, so with Cat Swiss, I'm looking for a continuation to the downside. It's just that this has got so many candles, it's unreal. Its price is not doing much, so it's a pair probably you want to ignore because it's a mess. Okay, it's a mess, too many candles and it's not moving much. Euro Swiss, same thing. Did I do this one? Yeah, so many candles. Look at, I don't recommend anyone trading this pair at all. There are times you can trade it. These times, if you can wait for those times to come in, then you can trade them. Okay, there are times you can trade them. Going into April, May, and then I remember selling short last year in here. Yeah, in here. These are the times you want to trade this. When we get into like August, September, October, you want to just ignore them, because you'll be stuck in this. Okay, when you get into this month, you want to ignore this pair. And then dollar Swiss, I've already talked about it on over there. So those are the Swiss pairs. Do I have a video on Fabs? Actually, I will do one just for you, and then you can check it up. You can check it up Monday. Okay, so I'll do one for you. Come on to the Forex Lens YouTube, and then you'll find it there for Monday. Okay. I remember you said you have a son, and you would like to have trading and have your son around you. So I'll do one for you. But Monday I did say find our Discord link, and then join our Discord and send me a message. All right, so go to the Forex Lens, again, the YouTube, the homepage. You're gonna find or if anyone is here and you can provide him with the Discord link, send it to him, and then once you join it, send me a message. Okay. All right. Yeah, we talk about fibs. Fibs are. It's not the fib. There's things around the fib that makes the fib work. Okay, it's nothing to do with the fib, but you can blindly just use the fib, and you think it's the fib, so you can trick your mind to think that the fib works. Okay, because trust me, those who move the market around, they're not looking at, okay, I think the 618 level is a good level for us to buy. Okay, those that move the market, they don't think like that. They're not using fibs. They're not using anything. Okay, they're just buying when it's time to buy, or they're selling when it's time to sell, and that's it. But there are specific things that repeat itself, and they work around the fib. Okay, so the only trade idea that we have for today will be the Euro Aussie. It's rated as a 7.8, and potentially if you get retracement, this one here, that's also good. EuroCAD, like I rated, is a 5, so I'm not terribly excited about it. Yeah, there's a lot of manipulation going on. On this one, we didn't quite get a retracement. We didn't get there, and it's rejecting. If we do get there, that's also a 7. And look at this, just like you see Euro Yen do yesterday or today. So Euro Yen, price retrace to this down candle and then reject. Same thing if we do come here tomorrow. I don't think it will, but if it does, then obviously you know what to do. USD Swiss, we've already talked about it. Which level are you talking about? I know what you're all about. Let's see if I can find it. I know who you are. That one, 915. 915. Is that level you're talking about? I like the 9175. Okay, if we're able to close above there, that 9175 is a good level. Okay, that's support and resistance at the same time. Okay, I guess there's no more question. So thank you for coming. Please remind me of doing the fib. Those of you that are in the VIP, remind me of doing the fib. I'm writing it down, but just remind me to do the fib video. Actually, I think I've not done one before, so I'll do a video on the fib. Okay. I'll see our YouTube friends on Monday at 2 p.m. and then I'll see my VIP members tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. All right. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun. Spend time with your family. Love your neighbors. Share some of the things that you have that you don't need. Yeah, share some of the things that you have that you don't need. And be good to everyone. Okay? And spread the love. Take care.